Hi, everybody. Editor Mongo here. Just a quick heads up about this particular episode. I wanted to do something really special. Wanted to have Editor Mongo's version done where I got sassy and did people's voices and things like that. During the character intros, I was going to do something fun, and I am going to do that. Problem is that when I was editing for this episode, my computer just done, and so I spent all week trying to recover everything, and up until this very last minute, it is now 5:15 p.m. on Sunday, where this is supposed to have already been on YouTube, ready to come out tonight. I was actually able to splice together the files that I had for the show. So because the big file was corrupted, so I couldn't. It was unusable. So this is not my best work, but hey, the continuing story of the Mid Dice Crisis team moves forward, and we'll be back at it next week, just right. So if you ever wanted to know what my face looked like when all of this happened, I think I'll let past Justin go ahead and give you a great idea.
Oh crap. Good evening, and welcome to the 10th episode of Mid Dice Crisis. Yes, glory shall rain down on us. Anyway, hi, how are you?
I don't know if that'd be glory or not, Justin, but whatever.
I mean, to each their own. But I am the game host, Justin. And these are a whole bunch of middle-aged people living their best fantasy life playing Mid Dice Crisis, D&D. We are excited to have you here. A little bit of notes, if you're not watching our Mid Dice Crisis hotline, there were some announcements made as far as some conventions that are coming up that you may see one or two of us at. Also, we will take the Mid Dice Crisis from every 2 weeks to every month. So monthly.
Dice
once
Crisis
monthly.
hotline.
Hotline. Yes, thank you for the clarification.
The game is
weekly.
Still weekly.
Very weak.
Wow.
I opened my mouth and the words came out of somebody else.
Excuse me. Sorry. It's that mental thing that you do. So, yes, Mid Dice Crisis Hotline is going to be once a month to discuss 4 episodes rather than 2. So, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or just snarky things to share with us, recipes, how's your cat doing? Is your cat okay? Mr. Fiskers? Yeah. So, we would love to hear from you. And even if you don't have any questions, give us a like. A little thumbs up. Hit that notification bell.
You can always insult us. Some of us like that.
Just
Subscribe.
interact with us. Just interact.
We need human contact.
We're so lonely.
Yeah.
But yes, interact with us on Twitch and Twitter and YouTubes and Facebooks and TikTok and Instagram. I think I got them all that
You
time.
got all of them this time. That's awesome.
Yay. I'm on my
Aren't we
game.
starting on Cornhub soon?
No,
Oh wait,
but
that was a different discussion. Sorry.
no,
What?
no, but we are gonna
Only
rush.
friends?
Yeah,
Don't say anything about the OnlyFans. That's only for the
only
ridicule the video.
only friends.
Only friends.
Only friends.
Only friends.
Wait, do we have
So-
those?
That's why I don't know about this, because I do in fact hate you all.
No, we love you too.
Isn't the reason we were playing this is because we don't have friends?
I think we came together on
Ouch.
that. Yeah.
That's how it works.
So,
what's crud?
does anybody else have any other announcements or anything they want to say before we begin?
No, not really.
Ask ourselves level to level 20.
I'll
Spring
say
training is underway and it's awesome.
10 episodes in and my llamas are still alive. Suck it.
Clap for love.
5, 4,
Right, exactly.
right?
2.
Cue llamas being eaten by a hungry owl bear.
They're just slaughtered by a slightly pissed off dwarf.
All right, let's get
Gonna eat
this
good tonight.
road on the show.
All right. So, as you all have seen, and if you haven't, you need to look because we have all these uploaded. But you all went through a forest, setting it on fire because it was evil.
Is evil
the
forest.
Yes, evil forest. It was a
Spiky tentacle
nature
forest.
nature trail to hell.
Mhm.
Weird Al Yankovic. In case you didn't know, gotcha, Mongo. Um, but you set fire to these creeping tentacle vines that were coming off of all these trees. People and animals had gone missing, and you eventually found your way after a small battle with 3 flying headless hags to a main tree that had been warped and was definitely not like the other trees. You fought the evil fruits that had dropped from it, which were actually not fruit at all, but the people
Zombies.
that had been taken over time and then used as cannon fodder.
Zombies.
After a while, you
Thank
all
the gods for fire spells.
Zombies.
right.
Right.
After a while, you did manage to set the tree on fire as well as blow chunks of it away. You found a small opening into the underground beneath the tree, into a cavernous area, where you found a seeming source that had reached out to Elowin's mind when she tried to contact the tree. I'm sorry,
Fiona.
Riona. Elowin was the last campaign. My apologies.
I was about to say, wow, that's some flashbacks going on. Stop.
Yes.
10 episodes, Justin. Come on.
I know, I should have the names by now. So Riona had tried to speak with plants, but the plant was actually being corrupted by something beneath it. After speaking to it and being told, "Come to daddy," you all actually went down there, and Torsten threw a fireball in the room. which
As
was
one does.
fucked
I
up.
said fireball.
Yep.
Look.
I shoot magic missile to the darkness.
As he fired off his fireball, the first one of the campaign, and probably not the last, the orb that was on a metallic staff sucked in the energy in the fire and glowed even brighter. After a little bit of a heave-ho session with Torsten and Scrack, I believe it was, you finally managed to break it out of the root that it had been implanted in, and you came out of the undergrowth to find that the sky was basically being torn apart. Threads of the mystical weave being snapped one by one. Each of you who have some connection to magics felt in your own ways. Riona, you had the earth shudder and burn under your feet. let's see, Haskar. Haskar had the magics that he had imbibed earlier boil in his blood and
It was forced on me. I wasn't imbibed.
Blink him in and out of existence, and he met a very friendly giant creature that took a great interest in him in the astral plane. Torsten, he felt his soul rend a little bit as he heard and saw what seemed to be at least a herald, if not the hand of his deity itself, writing furiously in the book, trying to prepare him. And of course, Rusty. Oh, Rusty. He had a flaming book issue and he felt his magic break.
It was all his fault.
That's what you get for being right. Just stop it.
Kill Rusty.
The first time for everything, okay?
Yeah.
That's the name of the episode. Kill Rusty.
After you all felt these individual feelings and losses, or in some of your cases, such as Daisy with her psionics, no problem, and Scrack with his just being Scracky. He was just
Big
fine.
old magic staff in my mouth now.
Yeah, just like that. You did witness what seemed to be a doom event, and all the limbs and the vines of the tree went slack. You're still in a raging forest fire, but what do?
I mean, at a certain age, trees naturally go a bit slack.
Speak for yourself.
Most trees don't
I didn't
age
get a
into
comment.
zombie creating tentacle thorn hell beasts.
Tentacle thorn?
Tentacle thorn thing. Thorny
That's a
tentacle.
whole new subversion that you've created there, Harry.
Right,
Thank you.
exactly.
Will you stop giving him
Rule
ideas,
34
please?
is in effect. Okay.
Watched the
So-
movie like that last night.
When last we spoke, I believe my book was burning.
You did shut it, and it did
Okay.
quench the flames. So
That's what I was wondering. Thank you.
yes, yeah.
All right.
I believe Daisy had found a path leading away from here when we were in the middle of our fracas.
Yeah, to the right of the
Yeah,
tree.
so give us a description. We've just emerged. We've killed what we think is the heart of this evil forest. Yeah.
Yeah.
So is there any
Everything's on
visual feedback from the forest that this is a done deal? Like,
As I said earlier, you see the vines going slack.
yeah. Okay.
That which animated them seems to have come from the tree that you had just set on fire and fought,
No.
and pulled the power source.
And when
What's
we were fighting the hags, we kind of got glamored into going off a path, going off the path and into the woods.
Well, we can't
Um,
really go backwards because there's a
well,
whole forest fire
everything's on
behind
fire.
us.
Right. And there's a raging forest fire. So
Good job, guys.
We
is there
voluntarily
any
wait.
actual path? This is just what I want to ask.
There is a small path,
Mm-hmm.
not like a deer trail, but a little bit bigger.
Hmm.
Big enough for Scrack and a
Okay.
couple of llamas.
All right.
I would probably say not big enough for the broken up wagon, unless you want to figure out how to carry that.
We don't need the wagon anymore because all we were doing was hauling the keg of black powder and we used that.
And I'm gonna leave behind all my blankets. I have my stuff and my yarn in my backpack. So
So
Yes, there is a trail off to the right from the tree proper.
okay. I'll take
And,
one of the blankets and just drape myself in it.
Sure. Are you actively trying to not look like Scrack?
No, I just I need a cloaky thing to, whenever we meet people, I can just kind of
Hey,
lurk under. it.
Torsten,
Yeah,
I believe there's still a jug of cider in there.
I'm on it. I go and retrieve any alcohol from
I
the
have an
broken
extra
up.
backpack if anyone needs to borrow it to, carry blankets or booze.
I go and retrieve a whatever booze we have, and I Riona, I've been separated from my god. Can I have a blanket?
At this point, you would have noticed Riona has wandered away from you guys and is just standing over by Hall and Oates, not looking at any of you, not talking to any of you, face buried in the side of Oates.
Askar is over with her, just like kind of trying to figure out what the hell's going on with him and why he keeps bouncing all over the place and like what the hell he just saw.
I'll take that as a yes. So I pick out my favorite blanket that you left behind anyway. And I put it around me. I'm just like, and I
Is there a
have
smaller one?
I have booze. I pick one out for Rusty, and I get one for Haskell. I get a matching pink one for Haskar. And
It's really gonna suck that I'm gonna have to kill you on the day you lost your god. It's just gonna be really bad for you, man.
and I get a rainbow colored one for Riona, and I just walk over and I start handing out blankets to everybody and booze.
Anyone else thinking national disaster and the Red Cross has come in and they're just handing out blankets to people?
Yeah.
I wrap the pink blanket around Torson's head as he tries to bring it by me. I was like, if you put that on me, I'll kill you with it.
I just look at you.
It's hard to smother someone with a knitted blanket, but yeah.
Yeah.
I think he would find a way. He's not exactly happy right now.
I just look down at you and go, it was a joke. And I hand you a bottle of cider.
I
literally drink the whole thing.
Yeah, put the rainbow blanket over Riona.
Still hasn't moved, just face in llama. So you're just like, Foop.
I think we need to get moving.
So Justin, the tree's dead, right? Like it's not moving, it's not animate anymore.
Not animate at all. You do see that where the tree had grown into a very detailed dragon's head, where it had been blasted away, there is it's all wood, but it has the approximation of bone, sinew, and muscle, where the skin would have been blasted off. But yes, the tree is engulfed in flame. So whatever had carved or formed this dragon head is now being destroyed.
Yay.
Going to go back into the little pit where we found a staff and see if there's anything else down in there worth taking before we leave.
Sure. Go ahead and make an investigation for me. 21. Okay. So the runes that had been done in a spiral pattern from the staff itself have been messed up, scratched out of the earth through Scrack and everyone trampling all over them. You see a root system. You see packed clay. You can see with a 21, there are a few small gems placed in little pockets where they rest on various roots.
I'm gonna pry the gems out with using my dagger.
Okay, they're just more or less set on the roots themselves.
Okay.
As you are picking the gems off these roots, one of the roots does snap away, and some of the earth just sloughs off and a decomposed body falls out. She's been long dead, mostly bone now. The flesh has worn down to bone, no hair. There is a very ornate, almost a leather and metal belt around the figure. Some boots that have seen better days. One gauntlet and a pouch rips as wet tissue, and 15 platinum fall.
Okay. And you said it was a leather gauntlet, or
What's left of a leather gauntlet, yes.
Okay. I'm going to take all that.
Okay.
Anything else?
After looking around, no.
Okay. How many gems? Just curious.
Different. They're all opals. Just to let you know what kind of gems. There's a total of 8 opals, approximate worth of 200 gold
Okay. Each or altogether?
altogether.
I had to try.
Pardon me.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Hey, while he's down there, like, we could just leave or like push dirt in there and close it. Just
We're
a
not-
thought.
We're
I'm
not
kidding,
burying
I'm kidding.
Haskar alive,
I'm kidding.
but we do need to get moving.
I'm going to come out because I'm guessing coughing because it's probably getting a little
I
smoky
would, I
down there.
would, I would hate for all of us to get, caught in this impending forest fire behind us as I
Yeah.
give
Good
the llamas a little tug to start following me down the path, hoping that Riona just follows the llamas.
Asgard goes over, picks Riona up, and puts her on one of the llamas.
When you try to pick her up, I move completely away from you. And I go to the opposite side of all my llamas and I stand next to Hal.
Asgard just kind of like, fair. Just keeps an eye on her.
We're all dealing with some very big things because something very big just happened.
I will walk over to Riona and just stand next to her. I'm not looking at you or anything. I'm just standing there.
We're walking next to her.
If we're walking, yes.
Yeah, it's like we're
More of a like calculated jog at this point.
yeah, just kind of a little bit of motivation, just kind of egging the llamas on to follow me. Let's start getting down this path and get out of the forest fire.
Yeah. Forest fires make me antsy. I kind of want to. I'm trotting.
Yeah, Scrack, would you mind taking the lead, good sir? Clear out the path.
I'm
So
walking with
Scrack with the metal staff clutching a large orb at the end takes off like a chihuahua with a new big stick from the forest.
I got a stick.
I'm straight.
But yes,
He gets stuck between two trees and can't figure out what to do.
the path is fairly easy to manage. The smoke isn't too bad because you fought in a clearing. None of the other trees would grow around this main tree. But you do have moments or two where you can see the path clearly, and then it will deviate left or right, sharp turns and corners. But for the most part, it's pretty good. You're in the lead, so Scrack, if you could roll a d20 with advantage because of your sight and hearing.
Oh, is this a perception thing?
Yes.
All right.
Daisy and Daisy and
I roll an 18.
Nice.
Rusty. Daisy and Rusty might want to be ahead of me and the llamas, just so
Oh.
you're not walking behind llamas.
No, I'm actually walking. Well, I was walking behind Scrack.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I'm
I
doing
don't
my
wanna
best to
step in
keep up
llama
with
poo.
Riona.
I'm covering the back.
Okay.
Yes.
So
So
Haskar can
Scrack-
step in llama poo.
I don't think he cares.
Asgard doesn't give a damn. If you,
So
if you guys
Scrack.
can't deal with the smell,
Yeah.
don't give a shit.
With an 18,
Mhm.
you manage to see that there are a couple of deviations, forks in the road,
Mhm.
if you will. Using your owlbear senses, you can smell the left side seems to be holding more smoke. Probably best to go right.
I head to the right. Don't need to tell me twice.
I'm going to keep that roll for the remainder of your way out of the wood. I will give you choices though.
Okay.
Okay.
I like it.
As you come to a second fork in the road, you do not sense any excessive smoke one way or another.
Mhm.
You're getting away from the main fire, though the orange glow is at your backs.
Okay.
It is getting large and out of control behind you. Time will be in essence here.
Right.
With an 18, you see that the left, the air smells clean.
Mhm.
The right, you can smell water.
We're pretty much just blindly following you, buddy.
Yep. Going to the right.
Going to the water. Okay.
Wait, did you say water or war?
Water.
Okay, I'm
Wa-
like,
water.
I thought you said war. I'm like,
You're going towards a war. It's the hags. Thousands of them.
I quit.
I'm going left, and y'all can go wherever the hell you want.
So as you go towards the water, you do end up hearing more of a stream running. You can tell that whatever was in the woods had mucked up the stream. There's all this thick yellowish green algae, undertones of brownish brackish liquid. However, the further down you get, the clearer the water starts becoming. You come to a path leading away from the stream. You can continue along the stream, or you can veer left. The left path, it seems to go directly left, so a 90-degree turn. But the path in front of you alongside the stream seems to meander and curve like a stream would.
Oh, we'll take that one. Go along the stream.
Along the stream. Okay. All right.
Aren't we trying to get the mountains?
You're passing between two of them.
We were trying to get away from fire.
Not catching fire.
Haskar, you have the llamas, correct?
Well, I'm in the rear. I'm just making sure nothing comes up behind us. I thought the llamas were Torsten.
Oh, Torsten has llamas.
Yes.
Yes. Can you make an animal handling check for me, please?
Sure would, no problem.
Wow.
That's an 8.
An 8. Okay. So I need you to roll a strength saving throw, please.
Riona, darling, I might need your assistance.
Dead face, eyes a million miles away.
A effing 2.
I'm going to jump in and attempt to help him here.
Because
Oh
I know,
yeah, because the gnome is going to be much stronger than the human.
because I know Rihanna's attached to these things is the only reason I'm going to try to save them. But I'm going to jump in and try and grab them too.
Okay. So,
I
Torsten,
gotta save you guys from a creek. Is
as
that
you are leading
what
Hall
you're
and
telling me?
Oates, they are skittish. They are not happy about this forest. They are not happy about the fire. They are not happy about the smoke. And every once in a while, you see their ears go from back to forward and just everywhere,
No-
listening.
Look, nobody's happy right now. I get it. Brianna could really use you right now.
Oates seems to calm down a little bit.
You always
Hall,
were the
however-
sensible one, buddy.
Hall, however, when he gets nervous or excited, he tries to mount you. Like rears up on his back legs, just gets on top of you and almost throws a leg over the front of you as he's trying to get closer.
I'm gonna roll a Constitution check just to see if I'd fall down in laughter, dying laughter, before I try to help him out.
He just wants to be held. He's a
I
baby.
say, I'm
17.
turned around to watch this insanity.
Oh, by the way, I'm gonna do a second wind to get some hit points back.
Yeah, go for it.
All right, just to let you know. So,
Yeah.
Oh, holy crap.
Oh yeah, actually, did I use that last time?
Yeah, 9 plus 5, so I get 14 back.
You sure you
Nice.
did, Ryan?
I think I did.
Yes, sir, you did.
Because I was low.
Falling over here. Not doing good.
But Rusty, you are welcome to help Torsten from
Grab
What kind of
ball.
what kind of roll do you need?
give me an animal handling check.
I'm good with animals.
It's a 21.
That's a what?
21.
21. So as you see
He
As you
fixes
see Hall-
handles to those animals.
one hoof up here, the other leg around here, trying to squeeze Torsten in. You see his right back leg try to like get up a little bit. Walk
I
up.
manifest a newspaper.
Bad boy.
This is. If
But
we only
yes.
had the internet to blast this out to everyone.
Mm.
Exactly. You do manage to grab hold of the rein that Torsten probably dropped in defense of his
But
we'll say dignity. But you pull it and you're like, Hall, and he calms down a little bit. And you're walking.
And I'm walking. And I'm
I managed not to fall down from laughter.
Mhm.
in the mirror. But I am laughing, like to a point where you can hear me laughing.
All right. So we've got Scrack up ahead. Riona, are you and Daisy about behind Scrack?
Was directly next to Hall, so when he was mounting Torsten, I would be like right here,
Okay.
closer to the river, if anything.
Okay. All right.
I'm by Scrack just laughing my ass off.
Okay. Scrack, I need you to make a perception roll. Not advantage this time, though.
okay. 10.
10. Okay. So you've got the path. You're like an animal knows. You stay near the stream.
Right.
You can find your way out of anywhere and you're safer away from fire.
Exactly.
But as you continue going, you begin to feel like you forgot something. You left something behind that's direly important. You have kind of have this urge. And then you start hearing it in your mind. A voice. back. Come on, go back. Listen,
Keep
you
going.
warm-blooded flea feast. Go back now, or I will turn your claws inward on themselves, and you will never have cubs.
Keep going.
You're the only one that hears this, by the way.
Everybody sees me just shake. Just kind of try to shake myself off like I'm wet.
Shake it off.
Actually, I'm trying to shake off being almost raped by a llama.
Just wanted to be held. He's
No,
cute.
I walk
didn't.
up and give Torsten a cork and just start falling over laughing and fall back being again.
I look over at Riona and I hold my book out in front of her face. And I go, look at this.
It takes a moment. I blink and my eyes come back into focus and I'm what?
Look at this. These are the last words, the last communication I could ever have with my deity. That's the only thing that kept me sane this whole time. I tear my book out of her face. I go, you're not the only one having a bad day. I need you to get your llamas straight.
Yeah, no. I don't attack with it, but I cast Primal Instinct, a cantrip. Teeth get sharp, nails get longer, and I look straight into your face and say, you're having a bad day. I'm having a bad fucking life. In 4 days, all of you have come into my life. Everything is twisted upside down, and the only person who seems to be telling me the truth is that one. And I point down at Rusty.
Because I've ever
It's
liked
not my
you.
fault that I was telling the truth.
It's not a matter of that. These are your llamas and they're trying to kill me. So
He just wanted to be held. And I go over, I get under, and I like fireman try to carry Paul with all my anger.
Make a strength check for me.
Because that will go great. Let's see. Roll.
and I point at the abyssal scars on my face. Yeah, my life's been a cakewalk too, princess. And I storm off using my incredibly long legs to get very far away from her.
So if it would actually roll, it's an 18.
Okay. So there's a point of adrenaline and rage plus the primal fury inside of you. And you guys see this meek and demure red-headed farm girl who has worked a farm all of her life. Farm girls are strong girls. She ducks down, head goes under Hall. One arm goes around the legs, another arm goes around the legs, and you hear her as she lifts. And for a brief moment, you see a flash of green under Hall as he's being lifted up onto her shoulders.
I keep walking. Just kind of, I wanted like shoulder check Torsten with Hall as I go by.
I'm outpacing you. I'm sorry. There's no way.
Nope, then I'll just keep walking with him.
Humans are strange.
Says the gnome to the owlbear, the dwarf, and the half-elf.
Mumbling to myself, showed up on our farm. I just showed up with a demon's come and scratch your face off. And
I walk over
I
to
pick a pebble
Torsten
up and tossed it.
and put my
at
arm
Torsten's
around
head.
his arm.
Okay, one at a time.
Go
Daisy?
ahead, Daisy.
Oh, I said I just walk up to Torsten and put my arm through his arm. So I'm walking quickly with him. kind of calm him down.
Haskar.
I throw a pebble at Torsten's head.
Roll for an attack.
Okay. An 11.
That did.
No. But you do see it go over. I'm like, 4 days condensed into your lifetime. Actually, sorry. 4 days for her condensed into your lifetime. Give the girl a break.
I think we could all use a break, Haskar. But in case you haven't noticed, not only the fire that we've set, but the rest of the world is on fire. It's not the time to check out.
He was never in any danger. I wasn't going to let happen.
Haskar, as you say this, you take a step forward and your foot blurs a little bit and sinks into the earth.
Why you gotta fuck with me?
Make a dexterity roll for me. Save.
I hate you.
I believe in you.
I really fucking hate you.
Okay, I don't believe in you.
An 8.
Yeah.
So you don't fall, but your foot sinks in and you feel earth not just around your foot, but in your foot. Your foot phased out of this realm. And yet you still interact with the earth. And for that brief second, you feel that cold, damp earth in your foot, in your flesh and bone. And before you can even fully comprehend what's going on, you yank your foot out like it was in a sinkhole, and you feel it form again. And you can definitely feel there's some dirt still in your boot somewhere. But you start feeling a sensation in your gut again as it starts rolling and churning.
I slam my maul down on ground. Fucking lizards.
Why we all need to rest, buddy.
So I'm still leading oats, right? You have Hall. I still have oats. I'd like to try and climb on top of him.
Okay, make an animal handling check for me.
16.
16. Okay. So as you're leading, he kind of looks down at you. You look up at him. He looks at you. And you look at him. He looks at you. And you look at him. And he basically just kind of shrugs his llama shoulders, and you can climb up. And you get on top of him. It's almost like putting a 2-year-old on the back of a horse. You know, their whole body does this as their legs are still stuck out like that. But yes, you successfully non-sexually mount a llama.
It's a love connection. Don't lie.
This is how you do it, guys. You don't have the llama mount you. You don't have the llama be carrying by you. Just ride it.
Still holding Hall.
As Rusty is gleefully rubbing it in the faces of Torsten and Riona about the proper way to handle an animal, the trees get a little more sparse. Eventually, the stream gets clear and the water is burbling. There's some rocks that the water splashes on, but you do see a well and a cobbled path from the stream itself, leading up a small hill scattered with trees. And there is a cottage built with stone. There's no light coming from it, but it looks very comfortable and large enough for you all to to get a decent night's sleep.
So we're gonna be screwed when we wake up.
Don't be a mimic. Don't be a mimic. Don't be a mimic.
Again, stop giving him ideas and let us just sleep in a stone cottage.
And then the stone cottage stands up, and you see 2 chicken legs underneath. No,
And so we're dealing with Baba Yaga, is what you're getting at.
I'm okay with Baba Yaga.
No, you are
pretty much
not.
live in the
Trust me,
forest
you
with
are
someone
not.
like her.
Not in D&D or not.
Yeah.
I just sent you a picture of this cottage. It is nestled
That's
near
my
a
freaking
mound,
dream home, dude.
right?
That's what I
Uh,
want when I move.
Nice wooden doors, some windows. The windows are dark. There's no smoke coming out of the chimney. You do see a chicken coop with some chickens quietly clucking as the sky is not just blackened by the events and the smoke, but it is actually nighttime here.
I go
is it
over.
possible? Go ahead.
I go over to the well and I cast light on the end of my mace and I stick my mace down into the well.
When you cast light, I want you to tell me exactly how you do it.
Oh, casting light. I grip my amulet and of course say the Norse word for light.
Okay. So as you do this, sure that this is a simple spell. Anybody with blessing can do this. You hold your mace towards the well as you grip your holy symbol, and you say
Arvindil.
the word. You say it,
Arvindil.
and you do see flickers come off of your mace head, but it stays dark.
Having trouble there, Torsten?
Just a moment. I pull one of my little service daggers that I eat with or whatever. Stab it into my hand. Let the blood go around my amulet. Then Arvindil.
Okay.
Go back to the old ways.
Right. As you do this, you feel something inside of you shift slightly. And a dim light begins to glow from the center of your mace head. Very dim.
Kind of get that seasick feeling.
I go over and I put my hand on his shoulder, going, "We'll work it out." And grab my flint and tinder and start a fire.
Sure.
I walk to the front of the house and knock on the door.
I look at
With
Haskar.
a llama.
I look at Haskar and I'm like, I'm just trying to figure out if there's going to be any more of us coming out of here because, man, the last time a bunch of us came out of the well, we really ruined somebody.
I'm already at the door knocking.
We made their life
Llama.
more exciting.
Hmm.
I would like to
More
walk
than one.
around and investigate, if that's okay.
Okay. We will go one at a time. Haskar, you're making a fire.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Easy enough to do. You've been in the field. You can make a quick torch. Believe you have one in your pack.
I have 10.
Yeah. It's a little. It ignites pretty well.
I hand it to Torsten one. Just use this for now.
I take the torch and I stick it down the well. Make sure I don't see anything but water.
You see a reflection of yellow light.
We assume the torch is yellow.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. I get a bucket of water and I start carrying it towards the house.
Okay. Riona, you make a Constitution saving throw for me.
14, I think. Wait, no, it rolled. So that'd be 4.
So rage and strength and adrenaline only gets you so far. It's only because you are feeling so stubborn at this point that you still have Hall on your shoulders. Your knees are beginning to shake. And as you go to knock on the front door, you kind of let him slide off the back a little bit.
Just kind of let him go. She's like,
Yep. Ah. No sound from inside.
open the door. Because that totally works every time,
Every time. So as you start to push on the door, it does not open. Daisy.
That's fine. Yeah, go ahead, Daisy. Do something. I need you in a second.
I
Davey.
ain't unlocking that motherfucker for you.
You were going to make an investigation.
Yeah.
Do it.
Okie dokie.
Bless you.
Thank you. I hate
18?
emojis.
So with an 18, you see that there's about a half dozen chickens. There's a goat happily tied with a bit of rope to a stake, chewing on some what looks like some refuse. There are a few plain-looking windows. One of the windows catches your eye. You go around to the side and you see that it is a stained glass window depicting a woman in long flowing robes with a sword and a cruel smile. No light coming from within, though.
I'm going to look a little closer at the stained glass.
Okay.
Touch it, make sure, see if she giggles or her dress moves or sup.
Justin's stained glass usually talks back to us or lets us in places. So just
Yeah,
don't
pretty
go
much.
smashing stuff.
This time it's going to be a portal to another dimension. One way.
Ask her if this is a nice, safe place that we might be able to rest in case
Okay.
we need permission of the house.
The face is unchanging, unmoving. Is a
Still not
stained glass
comforting.
window.
What about the other windows that are about the same height I am? Are any
They're
of them in there that
circular.
we can look in?
They're circular in nature. They are clear, translucent. They are very simple make, but yeah, you can look in. With
I
an
have dark
18.
vision.
Yeah, with an 18 in dark vision, you see inside well-worn, handmade, chunky wooden furniture, a nice hearth over a cold and empty fireplace, books, some paintings that have been hung all over the walls. You see fruits and vegetables in what would be the kitchen area, a small basin set up, a very comfortable bed off to the side. And
Is it empty?
one of the paintings is not finished. It is still on the easel. But as you are looking at it, your eyes go down the easel and you see 2 feet. Not standing, prone. One of them is twisted in an odd angle.
Oh, well, that doesn't look good. I'm gonna. Torsten,
Yes.
Torsten, bring your torch over and let's see if we can get a little better look. Come around to the window.
All right.
Do you see what I see?
I
Look by the easel.
I look in the window. Do I see what she see?
Yeah, easy enough. Especially if she's pointing it out to you.
That looks like feet
It does look like feet.
that
Are
belong to
said-
somebody.
Are said feet in shoes, or are they bare where we could see if they were?
Are they in green
Rotting.
and white socks with ruby slippers?
That would be outside of the house, Torsten.
I don't know.
That's
I don't
to the
know.
left. And I stole those shoes. They're mine now.
I knock on the window rather vigorously.
As you do so, the feet do not move. They are in a pair of mismatched boots covered in fur.
I think we should
Let ourselves in.
make sure that the owner of the home is okay.
While they were doing that, could I kick down the door?
You can try.
That is just rude. I'm gonna say the fruits
She's
and
in a
vegetables look
mood,
pretty
Daisy.
fresh.
Let's see.
I'm gonna smack her in the head.
Be a strength roll.
At least she's doing something other than moping.
All right, strength.
Torsten and I are gonna go back around the front to where she's gonna attempt to kick the door in.
With a big old 7.
Yeah.
It's +1.
So
Just kicking it.
the strength in you has faded. You've allowed Hall to be on the ground. You stub your toe vigorously against the door, making a thunk sound. It's easily probably a loud knocking sound against the door. It is a solid door. I will say that Scrack, you are being eyed very nervously by the chickens.
Wrong,
He's
little
not
brothers.
the only one they need to worry about. I could
when
luck me some
when
chickens.
when Daisy and I reach the door, I hold the bucket of water out to Riona and I'm like, I don't know if Hall and Oates are thirsty or whatever.
Head of Hall plunges into the bucket, just
I look at Daisy and I say, can you do something about that lock?
I can. This is the first time I've used any of my rogue skills, so Justin, I may need a little help. I'm gonna get down, take
Sure.
my tools out, and see if I can unlock the door.
All right. Are you going to use your thieves picks?
Yes.
Okay, thieves tools or lockpicks.
Lockpicks.
Okay. Should be under your abilities.
Okay. hold on.
Lockpick isn't, it's her proficiency plus, if she went expertise in it, it'd be doubled her proficiency plus a D20 roll.
Okay. Let's
Plus
speak
dexterity.
English for the stupid one here.
Roll D20.
Okay, that helps. Thank you. Well, that was a failure. An 8.
Yeah.
An 8.
What's your proficiency?
Where do I find the
It'd
proficiency?
be at the end of your stats. It
It's
says
3.
proficiency bonus.
We all have a
It's-
3.
Okay.
3 plus
Three.
her
Oh.
dexterity bonus, which is 3. So 6. Did you go expertise in lockpicks?
Yes.
Okay, so
Oh
it'd be
no, I went expertise in thieves schools. I don't
Justin?
know that.
yes, sir.
So I would say you probably, without knowing exactly what you have, we're going to estimate about 11 or 12. If this is your first time picking a lock, you've seen it done before. I mean, you learned from someone. And as you slide the tools in, you start moving them around, and you can almost feel what they were telling you. It felt like where one slides in a little bit, hits a little something, you have to wiggle a little bit, clicks in, and you start turning the lock. The lock isn't a padlock that's on a door. It is within the door. This is a well-made lock. But with the 12, as you turn it, and the door slowly moves on its hinge.
Well, holy goddess, it worked. All
I
right, guys.
basically shove her out of the way, get my maul ready, and walk in the door.
There's a body on the floor.
Don't care.
Next to the easel. Now that I have to get up, asshole.
So, Huskar, as you enter, there is no light aside from what torchlight is in the doorway, basically.
I mean, I have to do it. The most basic player response. I have dark vision.
So, as you are looking in with the aid of dark vision and the torch and the directions of Daisy saying, "Hey, there's a body by the easel," you do find where the easel is, and you do see a small, frail-looking body laying on a red woolen rug that goes directly under the table. The cottage itself, as I described earlier, but it looks like it should be a place of coziness, comfort, warmth, place where friends gather. It looks like it looks as though the owners had made an extension of themselves at one point, but the lack of fire in the fireplace, the lack of light, lack of any sound, really. It's almost imposing, like it's an alien entity itself in this setting.
Are there any other rooms coming off from the center room?
There is a small staircase. The staircase is wooden and rudimentary, but it works, made out of different limbs and planks that have been cobbled together. The walls are just as they are on the outside, stone, as is the fireplace and hearth. A lot of stone went into making this, but you can see the roof itself from the inside is thatch.
Okay.
But yeah.
I walk in and walk over to her. Yep, she's dead. And start walking up steps. Keep an eye out.
I walk over to her and try to see how dead she is.
Okay. Roll a medicine check for me, please.
All right. I'm going to use different dice. A 13.
13. Okay. Well, the first thing you notice is that she is not a she. She is a very wizened old man, wearing simple leather clothing trimmed in fur. The boots are mismatched. There's a hat also made of fur off to the side, as if it fell off of his bald head. You roll the body over a little bit, and this is an ancient old man. He is human, but his head lolls, his jaws open.
Is there any spark of life left in him?
Are you trying to sense this through your cleric abilities, or?
Yes.
Okay. Using your cleric abilities, no, you cannot sense anything. There is a void where for the briefest of time in the last couple of days, you felt this energy within you, this righteousness. It is gone.
Just out of habit at this point. I'm going to put my hands on him and say Hrestir, which is how I cast Spare the Dying.
Okay.
And I'm just going to be like ultra focused on just seeing any effect whatsoever.
Okay. As you say this and focus all your attention into your hands, through your body, into your soul, just trying to make that connection to spare the dying. Maybe you can save this old man's life. You feel a small surge inside as it goes from your torso, shoulders, arms, hands. Ultimately, does not have any effect.
Is everyone else well inside the cottage?
I never went in. I'm just standing outside.
I'm still riding oats. I'd like to kind of stay out far away from the cottage, and I'm gonna draw my Frostbrand sword
Okay.
and reach into my component pouch, pull out some phosphorescent firefly. Having seen Torsten was doing earlier, I attempt to cast light on the blade of the short sword and say Lux.
Okay. And you are attuned to this sword?
I have, yes.
Okay.
Last night.
So as you hold it in your hand and you say a word trying to make it glow, the magic that you felt in it is still there. And as you are trying to make this light up, you feel the magic within the blade itself dim slightly, and a surge go up your arm. And as you say the word, the blade sparks into light.
Woo! I will edge Oates towards the cottage, holding the sword out, and get off and go towards the door.
Okay. Anyone else? Scrag, you still eyeing the chickens?
Yeah, I'm standing guard outside. I put the staff on the ground, put my feet on, keep my feet on top of it, so nobody goes snatching it.
Okay.
And I'm keeping watch outside.
All right.
Hey, Torsten, I think we should carry him outside and maybe bury him. Give him some honors for it, since we're going to be borrowing his home. Would you mind helping me?
Well, fortunately, these are rituals that I'm very familiar with, and I know you don't need magic to do them.
Maybe we should find out how long he's been dead, find out who he is before we go burying him.
There's no life in this husk.
Can I
Rusty.
look at the
Yeah.
body?
Yeah, absolutely.
You
You
want
can
to
look at
come
the body.
in?
I'm gonna stay closer to the door. I'm not gonna step fully in, but he's pretty close to the door, right? The body.
If they moved him.
Are you guys gonna move him towards out?
Not until you look at him.
All right, I'll take a few steps in, and I wanna look at him, I guess.
I will hold my sword out to give her better light.
Okay. So we have Torsten, Daisy, Rusty, and Riona inside. Haskar, where are you?
I was going upstairs.
Yeah. Okay.
So the only person who's not inside right now is Crack.
Correct. So, Haskar, as you are upstairs looking around with your dark vision, there is light coming from downstairs through the well-lit torch of Torsten, and well, actually of Haskar, given to Torsten. And now a bright bluish light coming from a blade carried by Rusty. You can see that there is a very large bed. It is covered in quilts. There's bookshelves built all around it, filled with stacks and stacks of books. Some look handmade, some look like they were purchased. There are maps and charts.
Is it even covered in dust like it's been there a while, or does it look like it's still fairly well maintained?
Well maintained.
I go find the nicest looking book I can find.
Okay.
Take it off the shelf. Is there anything in? Are there drawers or anything that I can check while I'm doing this?
There is a chest at the foot of the bed.
Okay, I'm gonna pop that open as I go.
Okay. Inside, clothes, few items look like maybe a belt of vials that have different components inside. Mostly clothes.
I grab the belt of vials as well.
Okay.
Walk back downstairs and I walk over and hand the book to Riona. There's a lot more up there. And take over the belt of vials and hand it to Rusty and say, I don't know, maybe you could figure this shit out. There's a big bed up there with a bunch of maps too.
And
I'll see
I don't
what I
take
can
the
do.
book because I'm looking at a dead body because they won't move it out unless I look at it first.
I
So
just
I'm looking
drop
at
it
the body.
right next to her.
Yeah, I would like to walk over to Riona as she's bending down to do it. And I don't even think about what I'm doing. I just put my hand on her shoulder and say, I believe in you. And attempt to cast guidance.
Okay. Still holding the sword, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So as you are trying to cast this new spell while holding a light source, your hand is on her back. I believe in you. The light source on the blade dims significantly as you feel energy come from the blade, go through one arm and out your next arm. And you now have guidance, Riona.
That's a D4 to checks, right?
I believe so.
Or skills. Okay, so would it be perception or investigation? Because I'm not getting down on my knees looking at him. I'm just looking at the dead body.
You're making sure it's not
Investigation.
someone we're looking for.
So it's investigation, not perception.
Yeah.
Okay, so that, and then I gotta roll a D4 to add to that because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna suck at it, as I presumed. Let's see, D4. So 10 plus 3, so 13 total.
Okay. With the 13, you do see this elderly gentleman laying there, completely inert, jaw slack. Doesn't look like there's any damage to the body. Fresh damage, anyway. You do see that his body isn't whole. Seems to be missing an arm. And on the arm he does have, he's missing 2 of his fingers. His jaw being slightly open, You kind of peer a little bit, and he only has a couple of teeth.
It's who I think it is, isn't it? From what Riona remembers from a flashback.
You do recognize Max.
Hand, face, one of my last first level spells, and I try to cast Healing Word.
Okay.
It's probably too late, but eh.
Okay. Tell me exactly how you cast it. Just
It's hand, face, focus, and I'm thinking to myself, I've come way too far for you to die on me, old man.
Okay.
Just take my help if you have to. Just
all right. So as you do this, Haskar, I want you to make a perception roll, please.
Does-
17.
if it
17.
does work, it's 8 hit points. If it,
Okay.
it does work.
So Haskar, you see Riona drop down and try to do something to the body. And as you are watching this happen, you do see your feet not disappear or fade, but the stone floor crawls across your feet and encases your feet in stone. You're now immobilized. And Riona, you see the fruits and vegetables immediately start wilting. And one of the eyes, a crystal blue, very clear eye, opens up. And you can feel him smile under your hand.
That won't be necessary. I was testing you.
Well, we certainly didn't come into your home and steal all your stuff.
I'm like, what the hell?
Just instantly, Max.
Yes.
I start shaking him. I found Max. I found
Oh.
Max.
Oh, my dear. Oh, so good to see you again.
As he raises his hand, he like touches your face with his 2 fingers and thumb.
You haven't aged in so long. How is that possible?
Sir, we've actually never met. I think you're talking about my mom. I'm Riona, Justice and Eva's daughter. Boop.
I'm old, but I'm not forgetful. I don't remember Justice and Eva having a child, but it's so nice to see a familiar face, even if I've never seen it before. And you!
And he looks over at Haskar.
I wouldn't be stealing if you don't know whose home you walked in on.
I take my maul and break off the stone off my foot. If I was stealing, old man, it would be gone already.
Oh, I don't believe you. You're a good boy.
I hammered the stone off my other foot, going, just pointless, gooey system. Idiots.
Hug.
Help
holding
an old
Max.
man up.
Nope, you don't
No.
get up. Hug.
Yeah.
You're on the ground.
Oh, no. That felt
Right.
good.
This is very touching.
He didn't
I
lie.
built a fire.
Oh,
He didn't lie, guys. Busby didn't lie. Mask is real.
At this point, I don't give 2 shits. But sir, may I build a fire in your hearth?
oh, absolutely. It's chilly in here. I got a bunch of screaming coming from do you have may I see that?
You're gonna give it back, right?
You just met me, tried to steal something, and gave me a hug.
I
What
didn't
kind of
steal.
question is that?
He stole.
Well, you stole a hug.
Yeah, because I'm happy someone told the truth to me. I've been having a really rough week, and I
I
handed
didn't
over.
give it to him.
My,
I think she only borrowed it. She'll give it back.
my
Oh
dear.
no, we
The house
traded.
guests.
Me and Busby traded. He has a bracelet. I have that. Busby's supposed to give it back to me after he's done running off around, running from all the people.
As he takes it in his grasp, he's like,
Could you help me up? I could use that.
I'll help him up.
Oh, thank you.
and he takes the hand that has hold of the necklace and braces himself as he pushes himself up, trying to help you. Once he gets up, you see him reach down a little bit and correct one of the feet. It's actually a prosthetic from the knee down.
Interesting.
Yes, having fake limbs can be interesting. The mosquitoes have no idea what to do with it.
Yeah, it's a nice club and a pitch.
It is. It is. Although I'd rather use it to try to get away. I'm not exactly a fighter. Now where is my stick?
He's looking around. There is a walking stick, for lack of a better phrase. It is a staff that has a crook in it, shaping a Y to cushion under his only arm.
Pick it up and hand it to him.
Ah, thank you. All right. Miss, you're working on the fire, correct?
Yes.
Ah, excellent.
Would you like some water?
Oh, I'm fine, thank you. I heard the screaming coming from the necklace, and I had to be sure. It wasn't unwelcome company.
Understood.
I can still play like a possum. After all these years, I fooled you.
And he looks over at Torsten.
Well played, sir. Well played.
Ah,
It's a good thing that you came back when you did, or else you might have woken up 6 feet underground.
I've done that, my boy. I've done that.
I
Maybe not the
just
best.
wanted to make sure that we showed you the right respect.
And I appreciate that. Between all of your actions with that scamp over there, even trying to give out some things that he figured the old man could not use anymore, it was all good intentions, and I appreciated that. If you were coming to try to kill me, you wouldn't try to revive me, now would you?
That's the idea.
I'm gonna go to the door, open it, and just yell, "Scrack! It's Max! Come inside!"
Oh, do we have a
Bring
pet?
some extra firewood.
Just so you know,
That does not sound like a puppy.
our friend is an owl bear. An
Oh,
awakened owl bear. He's.
well, of course he's
Do we go- are
wakened.
we gonna
He's not
call him?
asleep.
Are we gonna call him friendly?
He's a really big puppy.
Oh, he's
I'm
adorable.
gonna also have Hall and Oates come in too, and Scrack has his big old staff in his mouth. All the animals are coming in.
So there is enough room. It is a good size cabin on the inside. It does get a little crowded with an owlbear and Hall and Oates walking in. He does see Scrack with this clenched in his beak.
Oh my, you're a big fellow. What do you have there?
The thing you guys left behind in the tree.
Thing we left behind in a tree.
It's dead, by the way.
The tree with
big
the
evil
vines.
tree.
Oh, the one that's in the woods between the. Oh my, you were
Not
there.
anymore.
Was
It's
dead.
yeah,
Oh.
that's gone now. And Scrack has the heart. It's in his mouth with the staff, I'm guessing.
So he kind of hobbles over to Scrack a little bit.
Hello, large owlbear. Oh my, you look like you're full of vim and vigor. Ah,
Puppy, he likes that.
he's going to get me in trouble, isn't he? Ah, that's all right. Scrack, was it? Yeah. Can I see that, please?
And he kind of leaning on the stick, he holds his hand out.
No? How about if I trade you a nice juicy fish for it?
Oh, Owlbear, flip off.
Big talon.
I'll walk over next to Max and just say, Scrack, he is the good guy and he knows magic, maybe.
Well, the good guy. I've never been called that.
I'm gonna
I-
kick his only good leg, just kind of like, shut up. I'm trying to help.
Oh. Well, if you want to hold on to it, that's fine too. I just wanted to see it. And llamas! I could use some llamas. Are they for sale, my dear?
No.
No?
They are all I have left from my farm.
From your farm. What are you doing out here and tussling with the tree that we knocked over 32
Find
years ago?
me. To find you.
Oh, why would you want to find me? I'm just an old man.
She has daddy issues. I mean, we're looking for her father.
Are you talking about Justice again?
Yes.
Oh, I never knew him to be a father type, but I'm sure the lad could, sire of you. he was
He
rather.
sired one.
Oh,
That we know of.
I apologize. I did not mean anything by that. It's been a while since I've had company. I've lost my manners, I'm afraid. And speaking of manners, come, let's get some stew on. I was preparing it, and who would like some tea?
I would
will-
love some tea. I can make it if you don't mind. That way you can.
I
talk
could
to
use the
Rihanna,
rest.
And
Oh,
she could use
Orson,
comfort
don't
and
be
some
rude.
information.
so
And as he just completely ignores the offer of help, he hobbles around in his little kitchen area, and you see as he goes towards this rectangular stone, he holds out his one good hand, and he's like,
oh my, this is unusual.
Oh, I believe we may have
Broken
forgot
the
to
world?
mention something.
I've been outside.
The
The sky is
there's no easy way to say this, is there?
Falling. The sky's falling. That's all there is to it.
It's the end of
Rusty-
days.
see, Rusty predicted the world was gonna end, and then the world ended. And now the world's over.
And yet we're still here.
The stupid little gnome broke the world.
I push open a window, if possible.
they are built in place.
Okay, so pushing him towards the door.
Oh,
He kind of looks outside.
well, that's something you don't see every day.
You might from now on.
Anyway, T, you can tell me your stories in a bit.
Kind of hobbles back as he puts his hand on the actual stone. You can see him concentrate a little bit. There's a certain way that toothless people have that their chin goes up almost to their nose as they push their gums together, and he almost doesn't. It's like slight hook to his nose, but still he doesn't quite make it. As you see a small seam appear in the stone itself, and it opens up, and there is fresh, very crisply cold fruit, grapes and strawberries.
From my garden. Here you go.
He puts the bowl onto the table.
I also have some juice. I did say tea. Let me get that going.
Just walks back over to the fireplace. He's very excited. He hasn't had company in a long time.
Do you have a canter or a pitcher or something? I have a bag of wine here that I don't mind sharing.
Oh, I don't imbibe, young one. I never know what I'll do when I get a little too tipsy. Last time that happened to us.
I agree, but this seems like the perfect kind of night to start.
Oh. Well, for those who want it, I have extra cups.
He points up to some hanging clay cups. They're just above the rectangular stone.
I did say that I would give you a fish, my friend. You don't have to give me the staff. That's fine. You keep it and you hold on tight to it, but I wouldn't chew it because it looks like it's metallic.
He walks over back to the stone, pulls out this huge salmon, just throws it over his shoulder, just kind of walks back a little bit, drops it in front of you.
There you go. One down and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 to go. If you'd like to lead your llamas around to the goat pen, he never eats the food I provide. As he's just a trash eater. he's a darling, though. He is a darling. But your llamas should be fine with the trough and some food out there. Young lady, you with the ears. Oh my gosh, I haven't seen a fair one in so long. Could you reach in that canister up there and pull out the tea for me? That'd be great. And
Yes.
you dapper gentleman with the hat, could you get that pot and fill it with some water from the well? That would be excellent. I appreciate it. No need for the sword. Nothing around here to hurt you, I don't suppose. Unless you have a problem with chickens. Sometimes they come running at me, and what can I do? Let's see. I'm sorry. My name is Maxwell. And you are
I'm Daisy,
Daisy.
and here is your tea.
Oh, thank you, dear. Thank you. Could use a pot to put the water in, though. Your name, sir, before you wander off and get that?
Call me Rusty.
I will call you Rusty. He's a spry one for his age. Okay, let's see.
And goes
After Daisy gives him the tea, I'm gonna walk over to Daisy, and I'm gonna sort of drop the staff into her hands
Okay.
and say, Daisy, don't let anybody mess with this.
I won't scrack.
This is bad news. I'm
Oh.
going to get a chicken. And I walk out.
Make sure it's the silky. I hate that one. Always running after me. I still have scars. I mean, I have scars, but newer ones. He talks.
Good.
That's amazing.
Go sit down by the fire now.
Oh, very good, very good. Warm yourselves, warm yourselves. You, the shorter brooding fellow, you have some explaining to do, going around and giving my things out. I expect them back, but that's okay. You are inquisitive and young.
I just kind of look at him like, yeah, about that. I go get a cup and hold out. I'll take some tea, please.
Excellent. Just waiting on our friend Rusty.
I'm going to sit myself down in a chair.
Okay. There
Uh,
is an overstuffed, very thread worn chair that it has a narrow ass print of a man well worn into it.
Fantastic. And I'm going to open up my book, and I'm going to start I'm going to start reading I'm going to start reading the written words of the prayer of healing that I know by heart, but I'm like, maybe if I read it straight from the book, it'll work. But it's a 10-minute cast, so I'm just going to be sitting in the chair, reading, focusing, and casting the prayer of healing.
Okay.
For the next
So
10
as-
minutes.
As you do that, Rusty, what are you doing?
I come back in carrying half a cauldron of water, wearing the other half.
Wearing the other half as it's sloshed all over you.
It's a big cauldron.
Bearing and
It's-
wearing.
It's large for your size. I admit. I apologize. If you
Heard that
could put
before.
it on the
I like this guy.
Oh, that was so great. I haven't heard. Oh, haven't laughed like that in years. If you would put it on the hook over there, please, young sir. And
Certainly.
who's taking the llamas? I mean, it is cold out there if you don't want them to bunk outside.
They kind of do their own thing.
Oh, okay.
Just don't kill them.
Oh, I would never, good Sir Dwarf, I would never kill a llama. They are majestic creatures. They are fantastic mounts, and they are providers of warmth and snuggles. I would never.
They smell and they spit.
Just
Only
say they
if
can
they're-
spit across the room if they don't like you.
Well, I mean, I've seen one at 30 paces put out a candle. Yes, they're quite talented in that way. And
Just
you,
heart-shaped eyes. Rihanna just staring at him like someone appreciates llamas like me.
And he,
Brianna,
as he waddles
you
over
wanna
to
bring
you.
them by the fire next to me?
everyone is welcome to get warm. I have candles. We don't have to be by the fire.
He like pulls out a long, thin stick from a vessel and puts it in the fire. And it's like, Sir Dwarf, your name?
Haskar.
Haskar. Very good. Would you go and light these candles for us so we can have a little more light to see by? I'm going to prepare meals for everyone. I have enough. I don't eat much. And
As he's talking, I just grab the tinder and walk around and light the candles.
That's a can-do attitude. I appreciate that. Now,
Daisy, you think you could reach those cups for me?
Of course. Let me get up and get
One for each of us? I'll pour some wine.
About
I'm
this
gonna
time,
walk over and get them and bring them over to Rusty.
I want to figure out, is there, I'm listening and looking around outside for anything. Do I sense any danger? Do I hear anything unusual outside?
Perception or investigation for me.
All right. 13.
13. You can see an orange glow from the direction you traversed.
Does it seem like it's close at all? Yeah.
It does not.
Okay.
There's definitely a smoke hanging in the air. Small smell on the breeze.
Hmm.
But no, it doesn't seem like it's going to travel up this way. The wind is blowing in your face, and what little smoke you could smell is carried off and away from the cottage.
Okay. I catch a chicken. And
So there's a half dozen chickens in there.
okay.
One rooster is in there,
All right.
and there is a white, ridiculous looking chicken. Looks like it's wearing a fur coat and hat.
Oh, I love those chickens. Those are awesome.
The silky.
Yeah,
silky.
I'll catch that one.
Okay. Make a dexterity roll for me.
A dexterity roll. All right.
Doesn't have to be big because it's
11.
a pin. 11. Yeah, they are very uneasy about
Uh-huh.
your approach, and the fact that they're like, "Oh, we're in a chicken coop. You can't get to us." Haha. And then you raise a paw and unlatch the door and open it. They're like, "Oh crap." You inside can hear scracking and a whole bunch of clucking and squawks and a few thumps and crashes.
Oh my! I hope he doesn't eat all of them. That would put a damper on chicken night. But I trust he's a good boy.
I take
I
the
hope.
silky. I'm going to take the silky and chomp its head off. And then I'm going to walk in, just kind of snacking on it like a Slim Jim. And
Oh,
go back
yeah.
in the house.
I love that imagery. Happened to a silky. So as you walk back in, he's like,
Not over the carpet, please. It takes a long time for me to actually. Oh, what are you going to do? It'll wash. It is fine. So I don't believe I got your name, sir. He's concentrating.
Said it several times.
That's Torsten.
Oh.
He's a cleric, not a eunuch.
I thought he meant Scrag. Oh.
Scrack the owlbear is awesome too.
Just
Oh.
steady praying, and I point at Riona.
Well, I did catch Scrack's name. In fact, he even makes it sound like Scrack. So, but thank you for introducing me to your friend. He's studying something, I assume. I will let him be. He looks like a very in-depth, knowledgeable young strapping lad. Ava, how have you been?
Riona.
I apologize. I apologize. Remember, I am old.
Old or not, you have lots of wisdom and you probably have answers to questions.
Oh, my dear, wisdom does not come with age. It comes with experience, and I have experienced a lot of things. And don't let the wrinkles fool you. I'm still young at heart.
A lot of people give an arm and a leg for your kind of experience.
I
don't
kick
get it.
Rusty as I walk by him.
Worth it.
I'm just on to the questions. Can I ask you questions, please? Can I ask you questions?
After dinner.
And he goes about trying to put things on a plate for everyone. The plates are old and chipped. He does pull out some food that was cooking in an under oven situation. It is a brisket with that was cooked with potatoes and carrots and some broccoli. There is definitely an over excessive amount of salt, pepper, and garlic.
I apologize. It's not for everyone, but old man, old tongue, old taste. You know what I'm saying? We kind of lose it after a while. Much like I've lost a few other things.
And he looks over at Rusty.
See, tragedy plus time equals comedy.
It does indeed. It
I
does.
walk over and start making 2 plates. I don't encourage him.
Oh,
Please. I make 2 plates. I take the other one over to Torsten and just put my hand on his shoulder and set a plate next to him. And, like,
Don't mind
sit
Master
next to him.
Dwarf. He's just an asshole.
Well, we all have those, don't we? Much like opinions.
And they all stink like him.
See, he gets it, and he's funny. That's great timing on your part, and masterful.
The old man and Wayne can just go back to eating.
he hobbles over to a chair by the table and he sits down and he's like,
I don't normally have company, as you can tell. There's various chairs and stools. Gather them around. You too, Master Scrack. Come sit at the table with us and enjoy that damnable bird. I hated it so much. Oh,
Harry, it looked like you were having a stroke.
So Max, thank you very much for feeding us. It's very good. How did you end up here? Just out of curiosity.
by walking, my dear.
Did you build the home yourself? Because I absolutely love it.
I did build it. Not quite by myself. I do have some help from time to time. There's a village to the northwest of us, but they leave me alone unless I need something, and they usually are good about letting me keep my privacy.
Tell me about that beautiful stained glass.
Oh, it's the only woman I've ever loved in my entire life. Beautiful, isn't she?
She's very. She looks a little familiar, though.
Have you ever been to the kingdom of Dunworth?
I do a lot of traveling. My grandmother sends me out, and I don't always know where I've been or where I'm going until I get there. So
Wandering
maybe.
spirit. Oh, I see. I had a wandering spirit once when I was young too. Led me all over the land. Those were good times. Good times indeed. But
I
what
bring
brings you
animals
all?
home to her.
What about you, Master Haskar? Was it?
I follow Riona.
Ah, well, I can see why. She's very pretty.
No, that's not it.
Oh, I apologize if I assumed.
No, she's had a lot of shit thrown at her the last couple of days. I kind of became her protector a while back ago.
Oh, how long ago?
I look over Riona. I'm going 2 years now.
Almost over 2 years.
Oh, very dedicated. And you've been friends this whole time?
For the most part, off and on. When she pisses me off, or I piss her off. Yeah.
We usually do that to those we love. Bickering. I don't miss that. Master Scrack, there is a trough of water if you would like that. It's up to you completely. You don't have to. If you prefer, I can find a decanter or something. How do you take your imbibements? Do you drink water, alcohol, juice?
Water.
Water. You know, one moment.
he gets up. He hasn't even touched his food. He hobbles over, opens up a pantry and starts cluttering around with some things, pulls out a large pitcher and or not pitcher, a nice big large clay bowl. He walks over to the table, puts it down, walks over, takes the tea off of its hook with a little pot holder, walks over, and he's like, would tea do? I'm afraid if I send the young gnome out, he might drown on the way back. No. Well, I tell you what.
Just water.
Just water. Sir Torsten.
I get up and leave it be for a minute.
I'm still focusing on my prayer.
I grab the decanter. I
As,
think that's
as
the word you're looking
matter
for.
of fact, when he says
Go
my
fill it
name, I
out.
just start reading it louder.
I apologize. Honey in your tea. Just nod. Excellent. Waddles over a little bit. Pours tea for everyone. Haskar, are you getting the water for Master Scrack?
Yeah, I'll be back.
Excellent.
Okay. So, whew, getting my exercise today.
So what exactly brings you to my literal neck of the woods?
Sitting there the entire time waiting, it's looking, no one's gonna say anything. Do you know where Justice is? When's the last time you saw him?
Well, he dropped by here about 4 months ago, briefly. He was going on about something. He seemed a little upset. He's looking very fit and trim. Age has been kind to him. Can't say it hasn't been kind to me. Look at this face.
Max, what did he say? What was he concerned about?
Oh, he said something about some artifact. We used to be artifact hunters, you know. I'm sure he told you all about our adventures.
Nails digging into the table. Just
Oh,
no.
perhaps not. Was it more your mother? I don't know what your living arrangement was, but maybe she told you some of our stories.
I haven't seen her since I was 4 when she died, or my father said she died. I don't know if she is. And then I lived with Dad the last few of my whole life, and he never drank. He was a farmer, simple man, and didn't do anything or do bad things or lie about going to war. Yeah, so
As you say this and you turn back and look at him, all the joy has gone from his face and his eyes are very haunted.
Sorry for your loss. She was a good woman.
very, very slowly I pull out the journal.
Oh.
That's all I have.
Hold it close. If that's all you have of her, then never let it go.
I tried to give it to Mr. Busby and he said the same thing.
Did you?
To trade information. And then I guess he felt bad for me and gave me the necklace, which I now gave to you.
You did. Speaking of Mr. Busby, where is he these days?
Running from people who are looking for him and tried to turn him into a husk because of that symbol pointing to the necklace.
So he's not wearing a
Well,
necklace.
pointing to where I thought he may have put the necklace, like in a pocket or something, like toward this.
After a few seconds, he's
It's great. Pulling an old man's leg. I only have the one.
My feelings of he's dead.
Something you'll learn about me, and I think everyone has kind of figured out, I don't lie. I don't play around. I don't
Oh.
fool.
My dear, I apologize wholeheartedly. I never would. I thought it was in jest. I would never call you a liar. I apologize. Again, I haven't had company in many years. But I can't really say that your father was company. He was looking for something in one of my books. But
What book? Just I'm getting excited. Like, what book?
It's an odd thing, but most of our experience has been odd. He asked for a book that we each should have had a copy of years ago. It's about children's stories. I believe I still have it. Yes, I should have it. Yes.
Describe it, and I'll go upstairs and find it.
Gold filigree on a kind of a beigey cover, and it has the picture of a flower on the spine.
Booking it upstairs to go look for the book.
Oh, she is excitable. Master Torsten, are you done with your studies yet?
I don't know. Has it been 10 minutes?
it's been about 10 minutes.
Okay, then I finish the prayer and release outward. For a good 30 feet with prayer of healing, and if it works, anyone basically any of you guys that are within 30 feet of me are going to get healed for 2d8 plus 4.
I like the sound of that.
So as you finish your prayer and you hold your hands out and you close your eyes and you try to cast the spell outward. With your eyes closed, you don't quite see it, but the fire in the fireplace dies down almost completely as you feel warmth radiate out from you.
Well, that was impressive.
Does it work?
Did anything happen?
So yes, those of you who needed the healing do get the healing.
How much, Mr. Torsten?
17 points of hit points.
Fuck yeah.
Everybody.
Thank you.
Except
Do I
Rusty.
notice-
That works. I go
Do I
kick Rusty
notice
in the
that-
head, just knock his hit points down a little.
Fucking working for me.
I cast shield.
Okay, I still have a chance to hit you because it only gives you a +5 to your AC.
And did I notice the fire, Tim?
Thank you, Torsten.
Yes, unless you had your eyes closed at that time or you were looking away from it, yes, the light in the room would have dimmed with the fire.
I slump back in my chair, just completely spent, and I'm like, oh
I
wow.
go over and I offer Torsten half a chicken.
Half a chicken. It's like dangling one leg out.
I drop a bloody chicken carcass on his lap.
Thanks, buddy.
Well,
You mind if I cook it first?
You do have that dinner right. I sat down right next to you.
he is
Here's the
generous.
glass of the wine that Dusty poured for us all. Maybe this will help.
Oh,
As
I don't
As
like what's
you-
going on.
as you feel a sense of exhaustion and relief that the spell went off, but it has drained you quite a bit. Those of you who needed the hit points do get the hit points, except for Rusty. And
Rusty was wrong. He was allowed to be right once. Wrong the rest of the time.
the fire does come back to life. The warmth permeating all of your bones. You do feel a little sleepy from this long, 5 days that you've had. So for the audience that's been following along, I have put them through almost literal hell to get them to level 5 quickly, so that they can start taking advantage.
So
of
he could put
those
us through
skills.
literal hell.
Exactly.
Yes.
So that he
So-
could bring about hell, so that he could continue the hell.
So as you all start feeling warm and comfortable and relaxed for the first time in several days, Max looks at all of you with a warm smile and goes,
Stories can wait. Sleepy eyes can't.
I'm upstairs, so he can put them all to bed as he wants. Look.
I devour the food that was given to me. I take the
bloody raw chicken carcass.
I take the raw chicken that you gave me and kind of set it on a hook in the fire to roast up a bit.
Good call, my friend.
But
So
the
as you-
plate of food that was brought to me, I scarf
Yes.
it down and drink the wine and let my chicken cook.
I now
walk over
have
to
two
Max.
people. I now have 2 people on my high opinion list. Good.
So
walk
as
over
you
Austin
do
has
this,
graduated.
Max stands up, still hasn't even touched this food. He walks over, reaches out with his one hand to Scrack.
May I scratch behind your ears?
No.
Very well. Consent is always appreciated. But should you ever need it, I'm here.
I walk over to Max after eating and drinking a little bit of tea and say, if you lie to her feelings, I'll remove the other leg. And go sit.
Everybody
lay-
settling down for the night.
Go lay down somewhere comfortable and immediately go to
There
sleep.
there are 2 beds. Both are very large and very comfortable. One upstairs, one downstairs. Scrack, you can
I'm
find.
gonna go outside and
cushions.
I'm gonna take first watch.
Okay. Anybody else want to take watch?
I'll take third.
I'm looking for a book. I've not
I'm
had
cool with
my
the
own
first
world.
watch by myself. That's
Okay.
with me.
So as each of
I will
you
do second.
decide to bed down,
I just fall asleep in the chair I'm sitting in.
I'm
You get a
cuddling
sharp
against
poke.
the llamas.
the llamas are laying down next to the fireplace.
Yeah, me too.
Torsten, you get a sharp poke.
Sir Torsten,
Yeah.
I apologize for waking you, but that's where I sleep.
Oh, far be it from me. Get myself out of his chair, and I'm like, what about the couch?
Well, there's a bed there. I believe your dwarf friend is taking up about half of it. He didn't even put away his weapon. It's right there. Does he normally cuddle that mole?
It's the only thing he cuddles.
Disturbing.
I fall wherever there's a reasonably soft place to land.
Okay.
Ow!
Don't snuggle me.
As you fall face down onto the
I don't
bed,
want to be the small spoon.
Haskar and Torsten snores. Scrack is out taking first watch. We're going to take a little break.
Sounds good.
Break.
Hi, my name's Rusty. Allow me to tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a forest gnome, I'm approximately 3.5 feet tall. I have sandy blonde hair and gray eyes. I'm always immaculately dressed, topped off with my signature hat. I enjoy long walks on the beach and talking about my crazy conspiracy theories.
My character, Riona Hyrath, is a human who lives on a little farm outside of Jessup's Nest. She grew up on this farm with her father her entire life. It's always been just the two of them. But a few years ago, he was called to go fight in a war and hasn't returned yet, sending letters whenever he gets a chance. With him gone, Riona has to pick up the mantle and take charge, caring for all the animals on the farm, giving a little special care to her two favorite llamas, Hall and Oats. Over the years, she learned how to crochet and knit as well as make her own yarn. Using her skills, she would sell her products in town, and with any spare coins she could muster, she would buy books. These books told her about adventures outside of the little town she lived in, and she's always wanted to go on her own adventure. But tending to the farm and caring for the house is now her job, and she's content with her job. It's her lot in life, spending her days doing her chores, reading, and waiting for her father to come home. Riona couldn't ask for more.
Dason Stormson, or Daisy to her friends if she had any, left the military because that was a bad decision on her part. Now she traipses around looking for shinies to add to her collection. Unfortunately, however, she did run afoul of the local thieves guild, which left her tied to a post facing a very hungry-looking owlbear. But that owlbear spoke her name. Now, they are the best of friends.
When you first look at Torsten, you'll probably notice that his face looks like it hurts all the time. And it does. Torsten had just taken the Oath of Tyr to join the priesthood as an acolyte with a wish to become a full cleric. Then the band of demons attacked. In his zealousness, Torsten painted his face in the pattern of the war clerics and set about to keep his family safe with his faith. Torsten was taken by the raiding demons, tortured at their camp, and given a gift by the demon leader. The once woad-colored face paint Torsten wore is now an abyssal scar burned into his flesh that will never heal. He was sent back to the chantry the next day so the people could see the punishment for having faith in goodness, but it had the opposite effect because Torsten would not cry. He did not wince or shy away when the people saw him. He simply told them that it was his hope and faith in their God of justice that brought him through the darkness, and his scars are proof that hope can endure. Not knowing if his family is dead or alive, his hope and faith will only continue to grow as he awaits the chance to see them again, either in this life or the next.
Ascar bone splitter here. Fiery belt hook. I'm a stonemason by trade. Fire by circumstance. I don't give much of a damn for anyone. Except for to pay me for my trade. With the exception of Riona. She's a good kid. I fought in wars. For my troubles, I got a scar across my right side of my face and throat. That's the reason I talk the way I do. Which is hardly at all. I'm done.
We're back. Hello. Did you miss us?
Hi.
We missed you.
I
We're
missed
gone.
you.
Hello.
Oh, Scrack. Oh, Scrack. Those bloodstains are not going to come out of that rug, but that's okay.
As long as my chicken cooks, I'm happy.
So, as Haskar and Torsten are face down, butts up, that's the way they like to long rest. Riona is upstairs trying to find a book. Scrack is outside taking first watch. Rusty, what are you doing?
I'm probably sleeping in a dresser drawer.
Okay. You know, there was there's this little hammock area. Looks like a little reading nook downstairs. That'll work for you. Daisy, what are you up
Oh,
to?
I'm cuddled with the llamas
Oh, that's right. Llama
because we're by the
cuddles.
fire and all happy and
Oh yeah, yeah. As your back is against Hall, your legs are draped over Oats. They do their neck things where they're like yin and yanging it.
I'm keeping them calm for Riona so she can do what she needs to do.
They are sleeping deeply and very comfortably because this is the first time in 4 days they haven't had something trying to actively kill everyone or having to run away from anything. They're a little exhausted at this point.
Are they now?
A little bit. Riona,
Yes, DM.
what you doing?
I am looking for the gold printed book with the flower on it. So I'm like I'm taking the books down, looking at them, putting them back. Maybe not as gently as I should, but I'm taking them down and looking for that book.
Make an investigation with advantage because he did describe it to you.
Okay. Advantage. Both kind of shitty rolls, but 13.
13. That's good. It takes you a little while. You do find several books that are beigey in nature, but you do find a small purple flower on the spine of one of them. As you're looking at it, you pull it, and there is gold writing on the cover, and the words are the story of finders seekers.
Have I ever read the book?
Make a history check.
Come on, something good, something good. I know I'm tired, but come on. 13 again.
Okay. The name of the book itself is not familiar to you, and you know that there's not like a Gutenberg press out there creating books in a manner that makes all the books printed look the same.
Mhm.
These are made with care and attention, so there's differences in the same book, but as you start flipping through it a little bit, a 4-leaf clover drops out from the pages and lands on your foot, and the chapter that it was marking is familiar to you. There's a story that you had bought, a book that you had bought at one point, and this particular story was in it.
I'm gonna pick up the clover and I'm gonna just kind of skim through that chapter and go over the story again to jog my memory if anything stands out.
Okay. All right. As you scan it a little bit, you start going over the sentences, the paragraphs, the pages. It's a short story. It's about a young girl in winter who had no food, no family, no shelter. And she was watching as a wealthy family had a feast before them inside their warm, comfortable home. as the story progresses, you can imagine the girl imagining herself in that home, surrounded by family and loved ones, caring parents, loving siblings. There were even servants that dressed her in frilly dresses, and the food was an amazing collection of different styles of food from different parts of the world, all for her tasting, and the drink was always flowing. And the story ends with her asleep in the snow, or not asleep in the snow, but it appeared she was asleep in the snow with a smile on her face as her lifeless body was found.
I do know that story. Okay. So, little weird that the clover was there. I'll go down to Max and ask if this is his clover.
As you close the book and turn around, he's sitting at the edge of the bed.
Ah. Sorry, my dear. I did not mean to startle you.
Quiet for an old man. Father couldn't even walk in the house without making noise.
Well, I don't know about quiet. The house doesn't creak, but my bones sure do. No, you were just so deeply into your book. Did you find the right one?
I think I did. I show him the book and I hold up the clover.
Oh, careful with that. Not too many of those around.
Is it yours?
No, my dear, I do not have a green thumb. I have more of a gray thumb.
And he kind of points around at the house.
Gray, like the stone. I seem to understand a little more about that which we live on versus what grows.
I've read the story that clover was marked on before. It's a sad story.
It is a sad story. You're correct. It's actually one of the stories that I've read several times. This particular book was written long ago, passed down through generations. I'm sure there's been reprints, and a few people have, taken the story out of context many times. But I do know the story, and there's a little more to it.
I go sit next to him and kids and then say, "Can you elaborate?" I'm willing to listen.
Well, it's more of a fable. You see, the little girl, she really represents those who do not have a divine spark in them. No magics that they can pull from. No divine entities granting them gifts, or even not so divine entities, as I've encountered once or twice. But she's standing at a window, gazing at what she cannot have and what is not granted to her. She's watching this group of people enjoy the wealth and extravagance of these gifts, all the while coveting it, never knowing that the world around her was cruel and unjust. She died from that cruel world with hopes and dreams, but hopes and dreams are only as weighty as what you can fit in your hand.
And he holds his hand up and kind of acts like he's holding something. And he closes his hand.
It's really haves and have-nots, my dear. that was really the basis for, well, it's late. We can swap stories in the morning. I think sleep. Yes. I think sleep would do you some good. Maybe, if I may be so bold, maybe I could take my shares and help you with whatever happened to your truly magnificent mane.
It was getting in the way when all the hags attacked, so I just made it go away.
No stories. Not until morning after a good breakfast. I have something special planned.
I will wait till morning for stories, and if you would like to fix my hair, I'm fine with that.
Excellent. This bed is unoccupied. You're free to use it as you wish.
I'm gonna try to druid craft an entire bracelet of 4-leaf clovers.
Okay. How are you going to do that?
I want to focus on the one I have, and I want to touch Max's wrist while I do it so that it grows around his wrist. I'm just focusing on the clover and just trying to will it onto him as a gift of just, thank you. I appreciate his kindness. So I'm trying to put as much emotion into it as possible.
So as you are holding onto this dried 4-leaf clover, your hand reaches out and touches him on his wrist.
Mhm.
And he looks down at you and smiles,
says, "My dear, you've not touched just my heart and my wrist, but my heart as well. I appreciate the company. Thank you. Get some sleep."
he stands up and starts hobbling down the steps.
I'll sit in the bed for a bit and just reread that story and then start at the beginning until I fall asleep reading.
Okay. While you're doing that, Scrack, you're on first watch.
Yep.
Okay.
That's me.
Go ahead and make a perception for me.
Make a perception roll. All right. That is 20, dirty 20, grab you.
Nice. Dirty 20. As you are looking around, you can hear the much quieter sounds of the chickens and the one rooster terrified. The door is still open, but they are not coming out. The goat is just staring at you, its jaw open like the horrors it's seen. You do hear some night birds, some crickets chirping. Most animals have gone to sleep at this time. You hear the sounds of the stream near the house. The forest is dark, but it's not ominous. It's just a dark
No
forest.
signs of the fire getting any closer?
You do see an orange glow off in the distance, but the way the wind is going, it's not going to come near you.
Okay.
As you are sitting there, keeping your keen owlbear eyes looking around, you do see that there are no stars
At all.
at all.
It's a cloudless night. Yeah.
Cloudless night, but there are no stars, and only the thinnest, slightest light coming from where the moons should be.
That ain't right. All right. I'm just gonna kind of put that in the back of my mind and bring it up in the morning when everybody's awake. But as long as, no naked zombie demon comes crashing through the trees, I'm just gonna hang out.
Why does it gotta be naked?
I'm just saying.
All right. So as you continue to watch into the night, the only thing amiss are the stars and the moon. Everything else sounds normal.
That is fuck the hell up.
Rusty, you're taking second watch?
Before I take second watch, I'm gonna go upstairs and wake up Riona.
Okay.
Hey.
Book on the face, just
Take the book off her face, drop it on her. Hey.
punch. I wake up swinging. I've had a good 4 days of being on guard.
Yeah, but yet you haven't taken a night watch. You're with me. Come on.
Roll
go.
away. No, roll away. I'm a giant human. Go ahead and try to get me out of this bed.
Okay. I cast
Oh god.
warp 1, Vorteric warp, and I put her down by the door.
You were breaking up. I couldn't hear what you were saying.
Cast. Let me find it. Vortex warp on her, and teleport her from the bed down in front of the door.
Okay. How are you doing this?
So it's verbal and semantic. So I reach out and point my finger at her and point in the direction that I want her to go and say thing. Say move.
Okay. So as you tap her and say move, and you know the movement, and you know the command, and you know the magic feeling within you, nothing, absolutely nothing happens. Very forceful about it. Say roll a persuasion roll.
This is your punishment for being right.
Yeah.
I can only.
I think we're all being punished for me being right.
It's your punishment for being you.
Persuasion?
Persuasion.
Roll.
You persuading me of anything.
18.
18.
I'm being very persuasive.
I roll out of the bed grumpy and I go downstairs. Because I thought he
This is
said
how
go.
Night Watch works. None of us like it.
Not talking. I go down the stairs, I go outside and I just sit on the ground.
I go down and I sit next to her. I know this has been a lot for you. You got to
Really?
keep it together.
What gave that away?
This isn't a time for sarcasm. We've all been through a lot.
Says the man who made fun of the guy with no leg and arm.
He laughed. He laughed a lot. You know this group has come together because of you, right? We're not here for scrapping out of the city or Daisy. We're all here because of you. These people are all following you because they see something in you that they don't see in themselves anymore. And you're losing it.
Can you blame me?
Listen, You can't let yourself be defined by one thing. Trust me, I've been there. I saw the world coming to an end, and I've spent the last 20 years trying to convince people that the world is ending. And what's happened to me? Nothing. I've been locked into stocks 7 times. And you know what? I was right.
You were right.
That's not the point. I let that define who I am. Don't do what I did. You need to find something inside of you. Keep going forward.
All I can say to you, Rusty, is in the morning, if I get my answers, we'll move forward. We'll move on. And I'll keep looking for my dad.
We're going to be moving forward anyways.
My
Answers or
lying
not.
asshole father. You want to be my dad? You at least tell the truth.
Always.
Do you think Max is telling the truth?
I think Max is telling the truth that he knows. I think Crispy was telling the truth that he knows. The truth is subjective. It depends on your point of view.
He said
Thank
my
you for
dad
defining
was
subjective.
Oh God, I love you, Scrack. I trust this group more than I trust my father now. So kudos for you guys. And if it came down to it, I'll never admit this, only to you. I would pick you guys over him. If that helps you at all.
Bear in mind, we've all picked you over our past lives. So,
well, I'm just letting you know I'll never admit it out loud again. But I would pick you guys.
Okay, I got a long memory.
And you'll outlive me.
Hey, where the hell are the stars?
Where the hell are the stars?
Are you guys able to look at?
We went outside and we went and sat outside.
We didn't do that inside to wake you guys up.
All right.
Yeah.
We're keeping watch.
Okay.
There's no moon either. You really did predict the world ending. What else did you predict? I start poking him for answers. Like, what other prophecies have you had?
Well, apparently, very clearly, the lizard folk are running the government.
I take out a notebook. Lizard folk running government. Do you think they caused the end of the world?
Right now, I have no clue what's going on. My magic is hit or miss.
Same, as I tried to produce flame in my hand, which I've been able to do for the last 3 days, but I don't think I can do it now.
Do you notice that when Thorsten cast his spell that the fire dimmed?
Riona, as you try to cast fire,
I think of that green flame.
as you try to cast that in your hand, just off the cuff, Rusty, you see as her left eye flashes green and a green flame bursts in her hand.
Well, that still works, but I couldn't druidcraft earlier.
We're gonna have to have some more of these talks.
Well, yeah, you have to tell me more secrets. Like you said, the halfling summoned a comet. Can halfling summon comets? Is that a thing?
That's not what I think we need to talk about. That's for another time.
Okay.
And the whole conversation on the wagon.
I don't have a wagon anymore.
Sorry about that.
It's fine. I'll ride on, Oates. You can ride Hall, or, well, probably I should ride Hall. He doesn't really like anybody. You can ride Oates. He seems to like you.
Doesn't hurt to have a battle llama.
I would like you guys to roll a perception, please, for the night.
I would like to wear the owl mask and be playing with it, putting it on and off, and figuring that out while I'm doing that.
Okay.
To kill time.
As you have taken it out of your bag, it does have the leather thong that you can adjust. And as you're putting it on, you kind of laugh to yourself about it. It's kind of like playing peekaboo as a kid. And after a while, nothing has really happened, but you try it again just to get a rise out of Rusty or something. And as you do, the darkness abates as you drop it down and raise it back up.
Hey, heard someone in the group was possessed by an owl.
Rusty, I can see in the dark.
I
And
don't
I
know how the
pull it
joke's
back
supposed to
on.
go, but okay.
Only when the mask is down.
Are you
Yeah,
saying we
I pull
need
it down.
2 owls in this group?
Whew.
Is that what you're saying to us, Justin?
No, not at all. I would never.
I thought I was owl enough
This-
for all of you.
I got this because of you, Harry. Woohoo. He goes right here.
I thought I was owl enough for you all.
Well,
Rusty.
now
Half owl.
yeah,
Rusty,
21.
now I'm your little owlet.
Rusty, roll perception.
21.
Riona, roll perception with advantage.
Okay, roll. My rolls are going so slow tonight. Even with advantage, I'm having way too much fun with that mask and got an 11.
Okay. You do catch the sight of some birds. You can't make out what type, flying just above the trees. Rusty, you do find where the moons should be. There's slight illumination coming from where they should be, but is very diminished. Outside of that, it's a quiet night.
I keep the mask on.
A good look for you.
Ooh. Which it's the first time Riona have laughed in a couple days.
Mhm.
I stay up with Rusty.
How's your
Who's
watch?
doing third watch?
Haskar,
That's right. That's right. I couldn't remember.
you want to wake him up or can I?
Do you want to? Do you
Do
still want
I
to be
get-
alive?
You know what? I'm feeling lucky.
It's going to go poorly for you.
Yeah. And how does Lucky feel about that?
I'm gonna take a rope out of my bag and tie it around Rusty's body. And I'm gonna stand back and let him try to wake up Hasgar. And if it seems bad, I'm gonna try to yank him away for
So you're
safety.
holding your action, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'm like holding the rope, holding my action to yank Rusty to safety if needed. As he
Gotcha.
Yeah,
tries
just
to wake up
remember, I'm
Hasgar.
laying right next to him, so let me get some sleep.
We're not bugging you, don't worry.
I desperately need it.
So how do you awaken the sleeping Haskar?
So before we go out or go back in, I'm going to do what I did before and cast light on my frost brand. I'm going to slide it back into its sheath. And I'm gonna walk up where Haskar is and pull it out and say, "Wake up! It's your turn."
Okay.
I got the rope.
I grab him by the throat.
As you
Yeah,
cast
you're
it
gonna die.
outside, again, you feel the familiar magics within the blade dim slightly as the blade itself brightens. And you hear as you see a small crack appear on the blade itself.
Okay.
Yeah, I
I
just
go wake up Haskar.
I got the rope. I'm waiting. If I need to pull.
I literally grab him I grab directly for his throat.
Okay, I want you to make a
Grapple.
Unarmed attack.
unarmed attack with disadvantage.
Disadvantage because I was expecting it.
Disadvantage because of that and the fact that Riona is ready to yank you back.
How about an 18?
That's it.
Oh dear.
I just hold him like a foot off the ground.
I'm tugging the
As
rope, trying.
the gnome sneaks up and gets real close to Haskar's face. Wake up, it's your turn! Immediately, like a flash of light itself, his hand just flies out and grabs you by the throat. Riona yanks with all of her might, and you're like,
Yeah, I mean, his neck is probably as big around as Haskar's wrist, right?
Mm,
Like this is
A
what we're talking about.
dwarf
This is,
grabbing a gnome. Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
with
yeah,
bulging eyes and purple face.
I roll up out of bed and still holding him above the ground going,
Call out, "Murder Daddy!"
I squeeze harder to the point where I can start hearing things pop.
I go up and I smack Hasgar. No, drop the gnome. He is the prophet.
Drop it.
I kind of
bad dwarf.
I kind of shake him a little bit, going, "Gods, you're stupid," and throw him a little bit up against the wall, and then get up.
I'll see you tomorrow night.
You'll fucking die.
Maybe. I feel lucky.
I look at Rihanna, going, "Really? You couldn't stop him?"
Tried to pull away. He made me go on watch.
As you're saying this, you just instinctively start pulling him.
Yeah.
Ah.
Across the ground. I keep him on the rope and I go
Everybody
upstairs
just be
pulling him.
quiet. You're waking the llamas.
I'm taking Rusty upstairs to go sleep in the bed, pulling him up, pulling the rope, so he's just like tut 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 tut. tut.
As she drags Rusty up the stairs, anything that I should know about?
No stars, no moon. Be careful.
Their moon's
Wait, what?
still there, but it's not. I don't ask me to explain it. That's the best I got right now. Okay.
I grab my bag that had the belt in it and just go outside. Look up at the sky. Do I see no moons?
Yeah, you can see there's just blackness.
And no stars.
No stars.
I know that gnome did it. I know he did it. It's all his fucking fault.
Speaking of the gnome, as I'm getting in the bed, I'm gonna ask Rusty. I don't like sleeping alone. I usually sleep with my llamas, but they're busy with Daisy. Can you cuddles?
You have me tied down, so
Then I pull the rope into the bed. And I go to sleep snuggling a gnome.
Weird thing is, as you yank the rope, his whole body flies forward. His clothes stay in the exact form as he was there, but his little body has ejected from them.
rubbing my
Teach
throat.
Riona about consent.
Totally worth it.
I asked first before I pulled him into the bed.
Uh-huh.
I asked,
God,
hey,
that
you
was
want to cuddle?
upstairs.
We need to teach her
I
about
do not
consent.
need to see that again.
Yeah, with his tripod.
He wraps it around himself when he gets cold. Anyway.
Oh, damn it.
Hell yeah.
Asgar.
Everyone
Yep.
take 1d4 psychic damage.
Yeah. Seems like a 1d8,
Yes.
really.
Make a perception roll for me, bud.
All right. Well, it's not a natural one again. It is a 6 though.
6. You are sitting there looking up at the sky. It is dark. Eventually, you do squint a little bit and you see with your night vision.
Night vision.
Night vision.
You can see where the moons should be. There's just that faintest bit of light. You do smell a little bit of burning chicken because it was never taken off the hook. You pull out the belt and start looking at it. It is a finely made leather and steel plated belt. It's more of a girdle than anything. The leather is well worn. It was definitely oiled so that it would be flexible, which has kept it from deteriorating like the rest of everything else. The metal on it is dwarven steel, and it has a nice dwarven design. If you wish to equip it, I will say you can add +1 to your AC.
Okay. Yes, I do. And yes, I will.
Who has something on?
Sorry.
I heard himbo cleric.
Anything else I noticed besides, the black sky that I still blame Rusty for?
Outside of that, once you fasten the belt, it's not a buckle. It's more of 2 hooks. As you place it, you squeeze a little bit and then hit into the hooks and the eyes themselves. You breathe, you flex it, you push your gut out a little bit. You hear it kind of groan, and it's a good fit.
Okay.
And as you are staring at that,
You're up early.
I literally don't even think about it. I whirl around with mace, my maul, and put it directly at someone, whoever's head it is. I'm guessing it's the marionette guy.
so as you spin around with the maul, it stops short as you see the smiling, wizened old face of Max standing there.
Ooh, got a breeze off of that.
Max, why are you up?
I'm old. I don't really sleep. Coffee?
Sure.
I knew your love language.
Walks in, comes back out with 2 cups balanced in his 3-fingered hand, kind of braced against the wrist.
He's like, the bigger one's yours. You're bigger than me.
Cheers.
Beautiful night.
Yeah, no. That whole moon star thing not being there is kind of disturbing.
My memory isn't exactly what it used to be, but I do remember stars and moons.
Yeah, I blame the gnome.
I have a question for you.
I figured.
What is wrong with you?
You have to be a bit more specific.
I've been around for a long time, and I have many theories and comments about things, and you could buy them for a single copper, and the value would be well and truly overestimated. But you don't seem, I don't know, in line with the rest of this group. Why are you with them?
I knew Riona's father in the war. I didn't know all about this. And he asked me to watch over Riona when he gave me a letter to say that he was dead. And once I got there, my plan was to just give her the letter and comfort her and walk away. But she had no one, and she was by herself. I couldn't just leave her there.
It's very thoughtful of you.
I don't have kids, and she's kind of like an adopted kid. She's a pain in the ass at times, but
I never had a chance for children myself.
never time or the place. So she kind of adopted me, and I kind of adopted her, and I just watch out for her. And then we found all the other yahoos, and she wanted to go, and I knew she would get dead or in trouble, so I tagged along. Why do you ask?
She reminds me of days gone by. There's a Spitfire in that one.
Yeah.
I just don't want to see that fire extinguished.
Yeah, she's had a rough couple of days. She's tough. She'll make it through. She made it through the first time thinking her father was dead. She's been on a farm by herself for at least 3 years that I know of.
It's not an easy life.
That says a lot about a human.
It does. It does. If I'd known she even existed, I can't say I'd be there, but I could find someone to help. But then again, I did see her carrying a llama up the hill, so
Like
I
I
think
said,
she's
she can hold her own.
capable.
I do have a bone to pick with her father, though.
I have questions myself.
You don't abandon your child.
No. But again, I never knew that he had one. Well, the sun is rising, as it usually does.
Well, at least there's that. I flip up
Yeah.
the copper going for your thoughts.
So this is, as you flip the copper, he just watches it fly.
Not real quick.
Holding
on
a
the
cup of
uptake.
coffee with one hand, I'm not going to be able to catch that. No need for payment. Your kindness, generosity, and your company is truly payment.
So this is the first day since what happened in the forest that you've seen. There is a darkness to the sky. It's not normal darkness. It's more of a dark film. Almost a veneer of sorts. And while the sun is rising and things are coming to light, there is a different hue cast over everything, more of a red color, and very subdued for sunlight. And as he sits there, he looks at you and goes,
Are you seeing this, or are my eyes just that bad?
No, that's not good. As we watch the sun coming up, I turn and going, you know Davos, right?
I do.
So I separated from the group for a little while, and I got in a bad way, and he gave me something to heal me, but it's had some disadvantageous side effects sometimes, but it's I don't exactly align with everything that's going on. Sometimes, like, I'll phase in. If I get hit really hard, I'll like bounce around like a ping pong, and then I have this, and I pull out a echo.
Okay. How do you do that?
I just basically, I do this and tap my hammer on the ground, and it's a 4, so it is circle of life. Do it again.
Okay. So as you excuse me, as you bang the hammer against the ground, you've experienced this in the past. You've been able to do it. There is a painful pulling from your insides and your skin, as it's not taking your skin per se, but separating from you at the same time, a mass. And this malformed, you recognize the Circle of Life druid. The clothes are part of the skin. He looks around, half of his face is just completely distorted, and he starts gasping for breath as he falls back and
That's new.
Is it? That was
Yeah.
disturbing.
Yeah, it hurt. It didn't hurt before, and with that, they came out normal before. Like, that was a cleric, but it's like an echo of me.
An echo. Did you drink something that Busby gave you?
Him and another wizard, wherever the hell she was. I didn't really have a choice. I was dying at the time.
Was she pretty?
Yeah, kind of cold, but
Yes. Llewellyn. They're in the same city, are they?
apparently.
How old are you?
125 as far as I can remember.
Oh, still young. Still young. Very nice. You should know better than to drink something given to you by someone as curious as Busby.
Well, it was either that or death. So, and I was protecting him at the time, so I figured he wouldn't kill me. But yeah, it didn't really have an option. It was like either that or death. So I took the potion.
he looks very grave and his face is contorted. You see for the first time since his introduction, he looks angry. And then it all fades away and he goes,
Learning lesson? It's a learning experience. That's how we grow. That's how we move on. And that's how we adapt to everything in life. Bacon?
Please. Potion that might stop me from bouncing all over continents.
I don't have that. I'm not skilled in that way. In fact, felt a strange feeling yesterday. I'm assuming it's related to this. But you know what happens when we assume.
It's still the fucking nervous part. But bacon's a good second. Let's go get bacon.
so as he leads you inside, he sets his saucer down and begins pulling out things and cooking up new potatoes and bacon, strips of, or sides of sausage, a veritable feast.
I doze as he does to get my full 8, so I can be fully rested.
And you all awaken to the smell of a wonderful egg, sausage, bacon, potato breakfast. he fumbles around a little bit with the stone rectangle until he finally manages to open it with a look of concern on his face, and he pulls out an earthenware jug and sets it down. And those of you who awaken and walk towards the table where he is trying to fix the rest of the plates do notice that that is goat's milk. And you all have your long rests. You are fully healed up.
Yay.
And that's where we're going to leave it tonight, with a nice breakfast with a nice guy.
I will say Rusty learned that Riona drools. Just leave you with that thought.
Well, goes to show that not everybody has to die every episode.
Yeah.
Hey, we didn't die
We did
last
have
episode.
a good, almost.
Couple of you were down pretty low.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
I had, this is a good episode. I got, Riona got her talking to. Torsten learned how to do a spell again.
I got to throw a bloody chicken carcass on Torsten.
We have a new catchphrase, snap into a silky.
Well, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe.
All
If you
the
want to
things.
see more of this craziness.
Yeah.
We're fun. We really are.
And we'll be back at you next week.
If you know the number of a good therapist, we
Send
could
it
all
this way.
use one.
Or
Yeah.
just start playing D&D and hash it out that way.
It helps. It really
It really does.
We
Keeps me
love
off
you
the
guys.
streets.
Bye.
Later.